Welcome to another Masters Academy podcast featuring the Arts Through the Ages program. In this session, we're going to be talking about how to use our materials. The first thing you see when you enter the Masters Academy website is our homepage. Here you will find the descriptions of our three cornerstones: reclaim, restore, release. In the reclaim section, you'll find parent resources for training and discipleship. In the restore section, you'll find the actual student programs we have to offer. In the release section, you'll find anything that goes out to the world. This would include projects, competitions, community service, missions, and the like. So for our purposes today, we're going to click on the Restore button and we'll be taken to the next page. From here, you will click on the Arts Through the Ages link, and then you will be taken to the Arts Through the Ages landing page. On this page, you will find several things. First, an overall description of the Arts Through the Ages program. Then some instructional videos, including developing a plan for adding the arts to your homeschool, and also using Arts Through the Ages as your core curriculum, which are also available on YouTube. Next, you will see links to sample lessons where we'll have one lesson from each of the 6 time periods. Finally, there will be a link to the subscription page so that you can purchase other lessons plans that are not shown on this page as samples. So we'd click on the sample lesson button and then be taken to a place where we could choose one of the 6 time periods. We're going to choose Ancient today. This will take you to the Ancient landing page, and here you're going to find a video giving a general description of the time period. Next, you'll see the timeline, which is basically a list of all the major historical and arts-related events from creation to the fall of Rome. And after that, we have the historical overview, which is basically a snapshot of the highlights of the period. It's not meant to be an exhaustive volume of information like History of the World, but more like reading a kid's book on the topic. It just gives you the major highlights so that you can orient yourself to what is being talked about in the actual lesson plan. Finally, from here you'll be able to access all of the links to lesson plans from this time period. We'll be adding one lesson plan per time period in sequence so that we can get a balanced offering, but eventually there will be upwards of 30 lesson plans per time period available. So for this example, we're going to pretend to click on the Ancient lesson plan list, and we're going to choose the Creation lesson plan. Once you have selected a lesson, the layout will be the same for all of them. You'll see 3 sections on each lesson plan page corresponding to Reclaim, Restore, Release. So I'm going to click on the Reclaim button. Once again, this is where all of the parent resources are contained. On this page, you'll find a video lesson overview for you to know how to teach the materials included in this lesson, resource lists of books, articles, web resources, and anything else that will help you to prepare to teach your children the materials in each unit. And there will also be a supply list that's broken down by each lesson plan element. This way you can gather everything ahead of time, and you're always sure to have what you need when you get to that point in each lesson, instead of saying, "Oh man, I forgot to pick up a tennis ball, guess we won't do this today." There will also be a list of academic connections to help you coordinate all of your subjects around a given topic. The second link on the lesson plan landing page will once again be Restore, where we will have the student lesson plans. On this page you will find a history lesson plan, an art lesson plan, and a music lesson plan. Our final link on the lesson plan landing page is Release. Here you will find projects. These are elements that are meant to be released to others. They may be community service projects, or they could be artworks or musical performances that are meant to be shared. They may also be competition suggestions from time to time. Everything in this section is an outward extension of what the kids are learning. So now that we have the basic elements, let's focus in a little more intently and look at the individual pieces. I'm going to skip the timeline and historical overview since those are both pretty self-explanatory. So let's start with the parent resource list. It will be divided up into different categories for easy searching. In the first section, you see the art resources listed here. The Drawing with Children book is something that we have based the art lesson plan for this unit on. Then there are a couple of resources for coloring pages for younger children. And next we have 3 sites for viewing art that deals with creation. Next, in the Bible section, we have an in-depth study of creation based on scripture and science. Then there are a couple of craft recipes for things that you will need for projects in the lesson plan. In the history section, there are some preschool project ideas and several good books to use for reading with your children. In the music section, we have lots of links for you to listen to. Finally, under the science section, there's a link to a creation study. Next, let's look at the supply list. Every lesson plan is set up with the Reclaim, Restore, Release components. The Reclaim sections typically are the Biblical Truth section, Restore components are basically skill-building sections, and the Release topics are projects. So for example, here we have the supply list for the History lesson plan. Under the Reclaim section, you'll find all the materials necessary to teach this first section of the lesson. Next, in the Restore section for History, you have the things necessary for making a timeline and a map. There are more details in the actual supply list, but I condensed it here to make it easier to read. In the Release section, you have the list of all the supplies necessary for the projects that the students will make in the History section, which in this case is a Creation Nature notebook. The same will follow for the Art lesson plan, the Music lesson plan, and the major release projects. So now let's look at the Academic Connections section. This resource is designed to help you further tie in your core academic subjects with the unit approach. In each lesson plan, there will be academic connections for all of the following areas: art, Bible, drama, English and literature, geography, history, math, music, reading, science, and writing. This way, you'll be sure that all of the courses you need to cover are taken care of. Next, let's look briefly at the History lesson plan. Once again, you'll see the Reclaim, Restore, Release components in the design. The Reclaim section deals with the biblical study of history, so here you see a study of the days of creation. Then the Restore section deals with the basic skill building, so here we're making maps, timelines, and doing research. Then the Release section is all about projects. For this history lesson, that project will be to make a Creation Nature notebook. For the art lesson plans and the music lesson plans, the structure will be identical. The Reclaim sections will house the biblical truths, Restore sections will have the skill building exercises, and the Release section will have projects. So finally we come to our project section, which is the release project for the entire unit. As mentioned before, we will list here community service projects, art shows, musical performances, competitions, missions possibilities, and anything that will take the learning out into the world. As you can see here, in this unit we have 3 options: presenting a puppet show, painting a mural, or making nature journals to give as gifts. So that pretty much covers all of the elements that you will find in each lesson plan on the site. So pick a lesson and start exploring for yourself.